Hey, what's up, guys? Rampedi here. It's another week and it's another episode, man. Orlando Pirates are MTNA champions. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
Orlando Pirates are MTNA champions. They beat Mamelodi Sundowns in the final. Yep, you know, I spoke about it over this past weekend about how possessed they become when it comes to this tournament. They knocked out Mamelodi Sundowns again. Like they did it last season, they're doing it again this season. And I looked at their league record and I was just thinking, there's no way Pirates is going to beat this Rulani's Mamelodi Sundowns, right? But one thing I have to give them credit for is it wasn't about the beauty of the football. They didn't play beautiful football. But there was a hunger within that team that they were not going to leave the stadium without the trophy. And that's what they had over Mamelodi Sundowns. And that makes it 3 trophies in 2 years for Jose Rivero. Can I go off script just a little bit? Kaizer Chiefs. Do you see what happens when you hire the right people to do the job? They get the job done. So can you please act like a big team? Let's get back onto script. Orlando Pirates, for me, this side is more like a cup team. So I look at them and I'm thinking cup team. But when I say cup team, I mean like they're so inconsistent. One minute they have a good performance and then the other minute it's like you're not sure what was going to happen. And for me, I can't forget the CAF early exit. Like exiting the Champions League that early, I can't forget it. So emptying it is great. But let's not forget, the big fish, you exited so early. And what I want to see from Orlando Pirates this season for me, it's one more trophy, definitely. Definitely there must be one more trophy in that cabinet by the end of the season. Not third, not fourth, not fifth, but top 2 again. They must finish top 2 again. If you do not achieve that, then I think there is a little bit of disaster that's going on in the Orlando Pirates because I look at that squad and I'm like, I can't accept anything less than a second place finish and another trophy in the bag. Emptying it is great, but that exit at CAF, guys, it's embarrassing a little bit. And you know it too. So celebrate the empty net, go do your thing, but can we also please have some consistency, please? Did you realize that I didn't talk about Mamelodi Sundowns in the last segment, right? That's because this is the moment for them now. Spoke to a man who's got yellow and blue blood in his veins. And I simply asked him the question, if Rulani doesn't win the CAF Champions League, should he go?
Okay, guys, so we've got the next guest on Playing the Field with Shakes, the host of LekokoLaSpace, a sports content producer as well. And man, I wanted to get this guy on because of the perspective he's going to give me regarding Mamelodi Sundowns. Lekoko, how are you doing?
You mean after Saturday? I guess I'm okay.
Have you recovered, man?
Yeah, I was telling my son the other day, I was like, I've experienced pain from Petro, I've experienced pain from Wida. Saturday is nothing. If I survive with 2 pain, Saturday is nothing.
Oh, well, man, listen, I'm sure it probably feels like it's nothing, but when you do look back on the game of 120 minutes and penalty shootout as well, when you go away from it, do you say, hey, but the officials cost us, or do you say, hey, Mara Sundowns, then again, like, hey, you missed chances though?
I cannot blame the officials on this one. I'm one that doesn't really like dwelling much in terms of officials. That's why I'll never celebrate the win where well, not necessarily not celebrate it. I'll celebrate the win, but if it's dubious decision, I'll never celebrate dubious decision. So I don't like dwelling on officials. So I'll confidently look back at the game and say, Peter Shalulile, Tembazwani, you convert those chances, Sundowns wins the trophy. As simple as that.
I mean, and not the funny thing is that those 2 chances came in the first half. So if Sundowns takes those chances, Sundowns is 2-0 up at halftime and the tie is done then, right?
It's done. 5-6 minutes in the match, Temba slots that in, that's it, it's done. And I've always maintained that if Sundowns scores first,
Yeah, man, listen, I mean, of course, on social media, there was a lot of frustration from fans regarding Mamelodi Sundowns, and I think they were speaking from a place of, the records are being broken. They go on unbeaten runs, they don't concede goals, but it almost seems like whenever the match is much more important. Sundowns are not able to get over the line. You go back to Orlando Pirates this past weekend. You go back to Wydad last season. You go back to Stellenbosch last season as well. Are you concerned at the fact that sharp, unbeaten runs, Mara, it seems like when it matters the most in other competitions other than the league, there's not a win necessarily?
Yeah, and I saw a couple raising questions, and they were saying, look, Shishi is one huge player for us, but it seems like when it matters most, it's as if there's these chances that he doesn't slot in. Yeah, I kind of understand where they're coming from, but they're being unfair to that to Temba, because there's a lot of games that he's won Sundowns that are huge games. But look, it's frustrating. How do I then go and tell somebody that these are the records? You are beaten in a year, but you only have the league to show for it. Sundowns has a huge investment. They have a huge purse where they can get players that they want, and minimum, they should have 2 trophies. So last season, it was a bit of a disappointment. Yes, there were records that were broken, but it was a bit of a disappointment in terms of return in silverware, because at the end of the day, whether you won the league with 1 loss, whether you've won it with 5 losses, what I'm going to look at for your season is how many trophies did you put in the cabinet, and if you can only show me 1, then it becomes questionable.
Yeah, and especially when you look at the amount that Sundowns is investing with regards to bringing players. I mean, Bo Rivero are not cheap necessarily, and Bo Alenda are not cheap as well. There was this hashtag that was trending as well. I don't know whether if you agree with it or not. CAF Champions League or die. Are you of the same feeling where you're like, Sundowns must win this thing, or it's over?
So the die part, that belongs to Pirates. I think they were saying league title or die.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah, with the Sundowns one, it's CAF Champions League or nothing.
Yeah, or nothing.
I was of the view that it's a bit too soon. Coach Hulani has just been in as a man in charge, but I'm more inclined to that and saying he has learned his stripes. He has been there. So I'm not necessarily going to say CAF Champions League or nothing. I'm going to say CAF Champions League final or nothing.
Or nothing.
Make the final. And yes, I know finals are won and they're not played.
Yeah.
But get there. Give yourself a chance to get there, because I think one thing that Charles Sundowns is the fact that they're not able to get there. They are the best. They could be the best team in the tournament, but they don't get there where it matters most. Look, last season you mentioned something where you say all these records, they're breaking all these records. I mean, they went on a rampage on in the Champions League where they were beating everyone in the group stages, where they were not scared of anyone. They go home and away, they go toe to toe, But then now you look at when it matters most, what happened?
Yeah, and I mean, when you sometimes look back on the game start at CAF Champions League, I mean, Sundowns was arguably, playing style-wise, was the best team. But it almost feels as though like it was I don't know whether you would say the dark arts to pull you over is something that Mamelodi Sundowns is missing necessarily. And do you feel as though that this time around they will be able to install that within their game?
You are right. They were the poster boy of CAF Champions League. If CAF were to compile like some sort of an ad or a montage, they'll say, look, this is what African football is about, and they'll go and present it to FIFA and say, you see, this is what this team was doing.
Yeah.
Does it have a trophy? Nah.
No.
And that's where the frustration comes in. But I see this season, Coach Hulani is not focusing more on that pretty play. He's focusing on what needs to be done. I would say, and I look at the final, and I say, Pirates did not come to the final to play the match. And they didn't play the match. They came to the final to make Sundowns not play. And that worked for them, So, look, let's look at the play and how it is that if it can get us beyond the line, because with Coach Peter, for example, you knew, it could be the ugliest of play, but it will get you through the line. So I think that winning mentality and the winning culture has to be brought back in terms of not only the league, but in terms of cup trophies. And you learn with these things to say, okay, cool. Doesn't matter how I play, but I need to win. I just need to get over that hurdle, over the line.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? You actually mentioned Coach Peter as well, being able to sort of get over those performances when he needed to get those performances to win the trophies, to win the CAF Champions League. Where do you stand with Rulani, man? Young and upcoming coach. I think some of the football he's produced with this Mamelodi Sundowns side since last year is probably one of the best footballs I've seen in a very long time. But again, we're at that stage where we say it just simply cannot get past the Pirates and the MTN8. It can't win a CAF Champions League as yet. Where do you stand with London Moegoe? Do you feel as though, like, if he does not make the final of CAF Champions League, would that mean you should get someone more experienced?
I feel that that's what might happen. That's what might happen in the team. Whether I agree with that or not, not necessarily. I feel that he should still be given a chance. There's a lot that we're going to achieve with Coach Rulani, and unfortunately, sometimes it's school fees that you have to pay, and he's paying his tuition fee. He's learned how to win the league title. He knows how to win it. He's inherited that culture. Cup games are a different beast. And I was having a conversation with someone today, and they said, we don't think Sundowns going to win the Champions League because it's a cup format. If the Champions League was an actual league where there are no knockout phases, Sundowns was going to confidently win that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they have a point there. So maybe he's going to learn. These are the lessons that he's learning. The MTN8 final, how he lost that match, it should be a lesson. It should be something that he takes forward with.
No, 100%. So for you, if I was to, usually, Lekoko, this is your medium of high pressing. I think from time to time we can high press you too as well. If I ask you the question, is Rulani Moegoe Mamelodi Sundowns head coach next season, what do you say?
If you ask me any given moment, wake me up at 3, wake me up at 5, or whatever. If you say Rulani Moegoe as head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns next season, without flinching, I'll say yes.
100%.
He's the head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns. 100% he's the head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns next season.
I see. Okay. No, that's cool. And then one last question that I do have is the fact that the competitions that's remaining for Mamelodi Sundowns, CAF Champions League, we've spoken about. African Super League I'm not sure if they're going to take part in it, but it seems like they are. Carling Cup,
They
won't.
They will.
Okay, so they will take part in the African Super League, Carling Cup, Nedbank Cup, DSTV Premiership. That's 5 trophies, man. How many should Mamelodi Sundowns realistically win of that 5?
If it's the Champions League, if the Champions League is in the mix, I'd confidently say 2, the league and the Champions League. If it's not in the mix, then 3. It has to be 3. The League Cup. Somebody was jokingly or not, they were saying Sundowns is the defending champion of the Carling Black Label knockout. And it's true. It is true.
It is. It is true.
I thought about it. I was like, no, but they're not even talking about the knockout cup that was played last year. They're talking about the Telkom Cup that was played.
Yeah.
So Sundowns is the last team to win the official League Cup. So, yeah, 2 if it's the Champions League, 3 if the Champions League's not there. And that would include the AFL. So if it's 3, the AFL has to be there.
I see. No, that's cool, man. And hey, man, I just want to say thank you for coming onto the show. And also, just for people that also follow you as well. I know you host your own platform too. Where can they find you, brother?
They can find me on Twitter, Instagram, actually any major social media platform that they can think of. The handle is the same throughout, Unkept Lekoko, throughout. And yeah, if they want to check out my podcast, they're more than welcome to go on Spotify, go on YouTube, go on Apple Podcast, LekokoLaSpace. That's where we at. And yeah, my spaces, they recorded every Thursday, 7 p.m. on my Twitter handle, Unkept Lekoko. So yeah, they're more than welcome to join in on the conversation.
Nah, man, look, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Keep pushing the movement. Don't stop. And hopefully Mamelodi Sundowns wins a treble this season, I guess.
Yeah, treble or nothing.
You have to at least give us one trophy.
Give us one. One major. They don't care about anything else. Just that one. That one. You know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I keep well, man.
All right. Thank you, Chega.
Who was up to par and who became our star? But also, who fell short in this game we all love? Let's find out on Moegoe of the Week. The star of the week. Can you guess it? S3EP10. That's what he says we must call him, not Chain. You guys have been calling him wrong all this time. S3EP10, incredible performance from him. You're winning me over, man. You know, you're really winning me over. You're right. Yeah, I can see it. The Moegoe of the week. It's got to be the two best players in the league. Peter Shalile, Themba Zwane, where you guys at? Guys, missing chances happens in football, né? But when you miss those chances, with the quality that you guys have, Shalile and Zwane, those are my Moegoes of the week. It's time for Bet of the Week. Get ready to win big by placing the right bets on the right games. International football is back, yes, and I've picked my bet slip. We've got some friendlies and we've got some Euro qualifiers, Euro Championship qualifiers. First one, Croatia going up against Turkey. I've gone with the Croatia win or a Turkey win. Cyprus going up against Norway, Norway straight win. Spain going up against Scotland. I've gone with Spain straight win. England going up against Australia, England to win. Netherlands up against France. I've gone with the draw, France, and over 1.5. Portugal against Slovakia, Portugal to win. USA against Germany, international friendly. I've gone with over 1.5. The odds, 7.66, potentially 7 times my money back. And if you understand a chance of winning 7 times your money back, hit the link below. Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za. We've come to the end of the show. Now, that episode flew past so quickly. But before you go, I want you to tell me something with the Bafana fever that's coming around. Who is the top 3 exports from South Africa that you would say? Drop the comments, guys. I will answer that question later on in the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes. I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
We believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe. I believe. I believe.
We believe.
I believe.
Believe in the Bucks with a risk-free bet, and if they lose, we'll refund you in cash. Betway, official Springbok sponsors.